But we got Drago, man. Number 5, Alexander Volkov, coming off of a loss, but it's still a minus 300 favorite against the plus 240 comeback for number 8, Marcin Tybura, man. This is a dude who's on a 5-fight win streak. He's been storming through the heavyweight division. This is, talk about a story right here. This is a beautiful thing to see for Tybura, but I will say in his last fight, man, he had to overcome a lot of adversity against Walt Harris. Almost was finished, man. This dude takes a lot of damage, but what did he do? Got the takedown, turned the tide, and then finished Walt Harris, man. Sad story for Harris, great story for Tybura, but this is a tough test, man. And I think Alexander Volkov is pissed coming off of his last loss against Cyril Gane, and I think he wants a knockout. I think he's going to be headhunting early with those long strikes, but I need to ask you this question, AJ, because in my head, Alexander Volkov is such a monster. He's so huge, he's such a big guy. He's actually not that much bigger than Tybura. Or maybe I should say Tybura is not as small as I thought he was, right? Tybura is 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. Like, that's kind of crazy if you think about it, man, because Alexander Volkov, he's 6'7" with an 80-inch reach. So it's like he's really not that much bigger. However, that's kind of what makes him such a dangerous matchup, is because he's got the reach on everybody. He's so tall, he's so lengthy, all that. How much do you think those measurements are going to come into account for this matchup? Do you think it should be stylistically different or stylistically difficult for Tybura to get in on Volkov?
I think so. The only problem is Tybura handled Walt Harris so well with that length that he was able just to get it. Even when he was hurt, he was still able to get in on the inside, get that takedown going. I think that's the exact same game plan he has coming up for this next one against Volkov. And I mean, Volkov, we've seen him absolutely resurge. And as far as, how he used to fight versus how dangerous he is now, this dude's an absolute different animal. He's a killer out there. But I do think that Tybura has a good enough chin and enough cardio to continuously work those ground and pound, or not the ground game takedown attacks. We saw it with Walt Harris. Whenever you're hurt and he goes and he clinches up, he's able to get you down, makes really good moves for Tybura. Momentum's on his side. I can see how on paper the distance of Volkov works really well, but he ends up usually a lot of the time not necessarily using it to his best of abilities. I mean, we saw in the Cyril Gane fight that even they were a little more similarly sized, but Gane was the one controlling the distance. He was the one controlling the speed, the size, the like I said, the time management, the distance management, and was able to work things out being the aggressor, whereas Volkov was kind of accepting that back foot position. I don't think it's going to happen here. I do think Volkov is going to be on the front foot looking for that KO, head hunting like crazy. He's getting to that part of his career where if he keeps losing just 1-2 more, he's going to be fighting the new kids on the block, and Tybura is going to have a serious resurgence. But because Volkov's on that front foot, I think that's going to give Tybura the advantage to duck up under one of those and shoot a takedown, shoot a double leg, press him up against the fence, and really start working the game plan. What do you think, Derek?
Well, listen, I love the assessment, AJ. I thought that was great. I think you hyped up Tybura there, but I do not agree. I think Volkov has a distinct advantage in this matchup, man. I think the straight shots are going to be key. If you're throwing big winging, hooking shots, I can understand the Tybura. I'm going to duck under, get in. But those straight shots are nasty, man. A to B, we always say it, right? They get there very, very fast. I just think that outside of Cyril Gane, because clearly he's an anomaly, right? This is a dude who is the hybrid. He's the new version of what the heavyweights are, and that's why he's been able to defeat the people he's been able to so handily, even though he's counted out every single time, right? And he just keeps on winning. But I think for Alexander Volkov, listen, man, one thing that we know about him is that in his resurgence, ever since he got the crazy back tat, not the stingray, but whatever he has now, the crazy mask or whatever, ever since he got that, man, he owned the center of the cage, much improved takedown defense, massive power in the feet and in the hands, man. So whether he's hitting you with a roundhouse or hitting you with that body, that teep to the body, that he hit on Walt Harris to drop him, regardless of what it is, man, this dude is hitting you from afar. He's hitting you often. He's hitting you early. And I just think that I do agree. If you do put him on the back foot and you can control him at that range, yeah, he's not very effective. But who's been able to do that aside from Cyril Gane? Like Curtis Blades wasn't able to do that. All he could do was take him down and just try to lay on him for 5 rounds. And he got the dub doing that. But everybody else in his last 5 besides Cyril Gane has not been able to do that. He's defeated Alistair Overeem, Walt Harris, and Greg Hardy in that span. Now, is Greg Hardy the toughest outing? No, but we can say he is a tough outing, though. He has proved that in the UFC, that he's not some just joke who's here that can't fight. Like, the dude could fight. It's just as simple as that, right? Does he have a cardio issue? Yes, of course. But that's neither here nor there. We're not even talking about that, man. So for Alexander Volkov, man, owning the center of the key is going to be key, right? You know what I mean? Or owning the center of the ring, the cage, is going to be key. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. And when Alexander Volkov is on the front foot, He's dangerous. He's one of the
Yeah.
most dangerous fighters in the heavyweight division when he's able to lead that dance and use that length going forward. And it's crazy that you mentioned the size disparity, because when you watch Marcin Tybura fight, he looks a lot smaller. I didn't.
Yeah.
I have the numbers here: 6'3", 78-inch reach, 6'7", 81, 80-inch reach, whatever it is. But Marcin Tybura just looks a lot smaller, and he looks like a 205er when he's fighting these dudes. And with how tall and big Volkov is, it's going to be quite a disparity going forward.
I agree. I absolutely agree, man. But this is the I guess the big key that I want to ask here. Do you think the speed of Tybura, he has fast hands, bro. Do you think the speed is going to be a problem for Volkov? Because that's the only real way where I could see, like, okay, man, he's going to get on him. He's going to Cyril Gane him a little bit, where he touches him up on the inside, gets back out, touches him up. But like I said, that's a very difficult task. And Cyril Gane was able to do it, but nobody else has. Is the speed going to be an issue for Volkov here?
I don't think so, especially because of his last fight against Cyril Gane. He's able to see that kind of speed, get used to it, and really adjust for it going forward. I think why it worked so well with Cyril Gane is because they were a lot closer in size and reach. I don't have Cyril Gane's reach right now, but I know it was something very close to each other going forward, whereas Marcin Tybura has that extra little bit to make up.
Yeah. And interesting, and this is the most interesting stat to me, man. Tybura is older than Volkov, which is crazy because it doesn't feel that way. Tybura is 35, Volkov is 33. But when we're talking about experience, even though they're both very experienced, Volkov edges him out, man. Overall, he's 33-9 in his MMA career, 7-3 in the UFC. Tybura is 22-6 in his MMA career, 9-5 in the UFC. 9 knockouts for Tybura, 22 for Volkov, 3 submissions for Volkov, 6 for Tybura, 7 decisions for Tybura, 8 for Volkov. So both of them are very experienced, man. Both of them have only been knocked out twice in their career. So this is the last set of questions here, AJ. The over-under on this fight is 2.5 rounds, -115 for the over, -115 for the under. Where are we going on this one?
Yeah, I'm going with the over on this one. I can actually see both fighters winning this one. Depends on who's the better man of the night. I mean, if Volkov shows up, he's very, very dangerous. Tybura, the momentum's on his side. He's also extremely dangerous. This is going to be a fun one. I'm going the over, man. I think this one's going the distance, to be honest with you. What about you?
Well, it's tough for me because, like, unless I'm, remembering things wrong, misremembering, I'm pretty sure that Marcin Tybura has a history of getting beat up bad in the first round, overcoming adversity to win. Now, that's not going to happen every time. So if you're getting beat up bad and you're taking those shots early against a Volkov, I just don't think you make it out of that, man. So I'm going the under on this one. I'm going under 2.5 rounds for Alexander Volkov to get the victory. I think it's going to come via knockout. Like I said, I think Alexander Volkov, the story was if he beat Cyril Gane, he was on that track to fight for the title. So he's probably pissed the fuck off now. And he's like, all right, man, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to show you guys who I am. I'm much improved, this, that, and the other. So I'm going Alexander Volkov, and that just is a segue to my pick. We're going Drago. I'm going KO, and I'm going early round 2 on this one. I do think Tybura will be able to make it out, but it's going to be one of those. This is my prediction. Obviously, will it come true? We'll see. But my prediction is it's where they get hurt at the end of the first round. They're still not completely recovered come the beginning of the second round, and then Volkov puts him out. That's my opinion. Unless Tybura can get him to the ground and ground and pound him for the finish, I don't see another outcome. What do you think, AJ? Who wins? Why? What round?
Yeah, man, I think your prediction has a very good chance of happening because it happens a lot more often than we think. But personally, man, I think this one's going to be a slugfest. I'm going Volkov by decision. I think he puts the vet out on him and just literally puts pedal to the gas tank, starts hitting him with power, hitting him with shots. Tybura gets damaged very early in the fight, and it could lead to a finish, but I do think he has the chin and the cardio to make it very interesting. So like I said, man, I just can see both fighters winning this one. I didn't really know which way to go, but I'm going Volkov by decision.
I think it's the smart pick, man. Honestly, I love the value in Marcin Tybura. Folks, don't get me wrong. I love the value at plus 240 for Tybura. 5-fight win streak, man. Been able to kind of put out a lot of big names in the heavyweight division. Walt Harris, Greg Hardy, Ben Rothwell, Maxim Grishin, Sergey Spivak. Like, that's very impressive. However, 3 of those 5 have come via unanimous decision. 2 knockouts in his last 2 fights. But against Volkov, it's hard to win decisions against him. Once again, unless you were a Curtis Blades or you are a Cyril Gane. You feel me? Like, he doesn't have that many big losses in his career. So that's it. -300 at Volkov, -115 for the under or the over. It's really your choice, folks. I'm going under. AJ's going over on that one.